Stick around after the musical outro for our first ever post-credit scene.
I'm assuming he wasn't in Fort Dallas?
No, he wasn't.
Those killings in October up there sure seemed a lot like his old work. Hey, I know he's like a son to you, but it's coming on 3 months now since anyone has seen or heard from him. Maybe he just doesn't want to be found.
It looks like he doesn't. I have a kind of parental connection with everything I've given the light to. But Eddie is the only person I've met with the same natural gift as me. Though our powers are in the same light, our hearts and minds couldn't be more different. I still feel him here.
I'm sorry, Johnny. At least we have this pretty sunset. Especially with all this snow.
Yeah, snow. It was a year ago to the hour, when all three of us were last up here.
That's right. The night Joey, well, then Matt, was killed by Doc. When the thunder broke louder than ever across the Gulf, and the rains came flooding in.
Eddie was angry, and he was stupid.
He meant well by us, and how was he to know Doc was back?
He couldn't have. I should have warned everyone sooner. I should have told you all more about the dangers that lie within the hive. Most of Sirenicide's current force, other than Nancy, would have done the same. You're right. He meant well, but I never saw it that way.
It's not over yet. There's still Doogie.
Oh, that's right. How has the training been going with him?
Great. Hey, let's go down there, and I'll show you.
All right. Lead the way.
So, if you still feel him here, then why go to Fort Dallas? And why did you stay there so long?
I thought the same as you. A string of pretty young college girls being raped and murdered. That sounds a lot like classic 1960s Eddie to me. So I stayed until I found the killer. Once I located him, I melted his flesh off, starting with his favorite body part. Then I snapped all of his bones into dust before releasing his mind to death and his sick soul to Voslin.
Justice at the hands of Dr. Stitches. You should teach a class on it. You know, if you weren't a doctor, I bet you would have been a good teacher. Well, in a different lifetime or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In a different lifetime. A teacher.
Johnny,
Dog. Here, dog.
He knows his name.
Doogie, come here. Come on out. Wow, he can open doors?
Not all, but a few. He really is a very intelligent creature. The first few days after Eddie went missing, he wouldn't eat and he would just howl. But now he greets me every night when I come down here.
Every now and then, I can feel a surge of Eddie's power, mixed with an odd pain, close to that of a heart attack, but crushing me from the outside back inward. Like the augment is smashing down, shredding through my skin. I wonder if Doogie feels this pain too.
What? Is that the same thing as what happened with Joey? When Doc ripped him open?
No, this is worse. It was happening a lot when he first went missing, but it has since died down. However, when it happens now, I feel like it could rip through, killing me.
Could you hone in on that to locate him?
I wish. It comes from all angles, though, and I can't think when it hits.
Johnny, please don't get mad. But I need you to answer some questions for me.
Okay. I think it's time. Ask away.
That day, at the bottom of the escalator, right before Doc busted in, you showed me an image, and I can't get it out of my head. It was you, but you were younger, and you were dressed in all gray. There was a church bell ringing and a dog running around behind you. But it was your voice. It was so soothing and familiar. What was that? I feel like I've been to that place before. But how? I can't sleep. All I see is that.
Molly, that place was real. It was.
Johnny! What's happening? Johnny! What's going on? Johnny! Johnny! What do you need me to do? Johnny, please tell me. I don't know what to do.
Help me.
Okay. Okay. I'm right here. Okay. Just breathe. Okay? Just breathe. That was one of those attacks, huh?
Yes. I need to meet with Doc. Soon. And alone.
No! I mean, why? And why alone?
He has to be the one causing this. Or he will know why it is happening.
Okay. But alone?
He won't kill me. I'm like a son to him.
In a little over 9 days, Morston, Texas, and its surrounding areas were devastated by 3 Category 5 hurricanes. This anomaly, as meteorologists...
There's just simply no proof of these so-called scarred monsters. Reporting live, I'm...
Matt, it's only getting worse. Where are you? I can't do this alone.
I'll show you what real power is!
You are my prize of the night.
You are an evil one.
You have no idea how devilish I can get.
Evil has reigned unchecked in this city for far too long. I will strike down those who seek to flood this great plain with darkness.
Why? Why have you finally returned now?
For it's all about to begin.
It's just a matter of time, I assure you. So please, all of you, just calm down. We are only here to update each other, not to question the absence of Dr. Stitches.
That's right. We all have plenty to do and more than enough to worry about. He has put his trust in us.
Fine. Let's get started. I'm already getting sick of all your faces.
Housing and accommodations are doing great. What few unwilling patients we have are isolated and awaiting further sessions from Johnny and Molly.
Both of who aren't here.
Patience. Ha! Waylon, you and that passive ideology. If these former idle ones can't grasp the truth, then we should package them. I still have a few contacts I could sell to.
Jimmy, I would love to see you bring that up when Johnny's around. Talk about being passive.
She got you there, Snap.
Fuck you, Trephine. I'm sure you're loving this change. Harvesting never did suit you.
Can we get back to this? The sooner we start, the faster we finish.
Right. Let's do this shit.
Yes. Let's try not to get sidetracked and stay on target. Thanks for taking the lead on Bella Vita business, Mr. Mercury.
You're welcome, sir.
Ms. Lark, the issues with the people Waylon mentioned. How is your team keeping them settled while we wait on Dr. Stitches and Ms. Needles?
There are only a few. Not enough for a former organ buyer to care about, as Jimmy belligerently suggested.
Whatever.
Plus, I'm confident we can convert every one of them. They just needed to be isolated, and that has already helped. That way, Johnny, Molly, and myself can work with them individually.
Like we have room for that. Stupid.
We do. It's not as much of a space problem as it is a labor one. These people, and some of the ones already working the last few months, are having a hard time doing all this without normal world compensation.
They want money? Huh.
No, it's more of what you do once you got paid. I know most of us don't remember, but it would relieve stress to pay bills, or you would go out drinking, things like that. This new idea of what we're telling them is closer to slavery than survival.
Danny, can you shut up so she can finish?
No. Danny Trephine, that is exactly what I'm getting at. It's the mind of the beings that have the luminescence. This light eats away at the people that aren't purposely driven by something. Right now, Danny is bored, but before long, it will turn into rage. The tasks Johnny had given us in the past allowed one to release that rage. Most of the fortification and conservation jobs don't allow for this. Essentially, it's like going to work for nothing.
But not everyone has these rage issues. Johnny and I have talked about this before.
I had my fair share of rage issues before the Hive, back when I still had my day job. I haven't felt them as much as a resurgent, though. That being said, I know a few of the people I interviewed went completely crazy while they were still idle.
Correct. It's not all of them. Molly and I believe it's about, 50-50, and it doesn't matter if you're a resurgent or not. The problem here is hanging and painting plywood, or cleaning restrooms, is not what every luminescence scarred one was made for.
Yes, but those jobs still need to be done.
I agree with Emmett. Times are different now. Sirenicide is more than just harvesters, watchers, and idle ones. Everyone must work, or we won't survive against DOC's forces now
Killers. That's what we are. All of us. If you can't kill, then you get killed. This bullshit watcher rhetoric you've been soaking up, it's gonna be our downfall. Johnny is preparing us for a war with Doc. Not to build some class-structured Sirena economy. Look at us. Our leader is out searching for his lost son, and we're stuck here.
Hey, that's enough. Before you say any more. Johnny is trying to find Eddie to help us. We all know how powerful Vile is, and how much he means to Johnny and to the rest of us. He set up this little war room so we could defend our home front and prepare the defense for when that time comes. This Watcher versus Harvester shit has to end. We are all Sirenicide.
Well said, Joey.
Johnny, you're back. When did you get here?
Not too long ago.
And Dr. Vile?
Eddie is still alive, but something is very wrong with him. My connection to him is distorted. I have never felt anything like it before.
So what's the plan?
Molly will fill everyone in on that in just a few minutes. But before she does, I just wanted to say all defenses are nearly in place. We will not lead an offense. We would lose everything by doing so. Doc has not attacked since September 11th. Keep that in mind. I have only one more matter to attend to in regards to my search for Eddie, and then we will start discussing Reggie and Danny's hive assault idea. Sound fair?
Yes, sir.
Yes!
Good. Let's go to work then. Molly.
All right. First, Reggie, you and the fleet are going to go to that super fun site in Frosby, where Eddie found Doogie, and I will join you there with him. Once we are there, we will canvass the lagoon area and search for other creatures.
He doesn't want any more excuses. Why can't you locate the colonization director?
I know where he is. I just can't get anything up there to communicate back with us.
You still believe he's on the moon? Come on, Miss Bowing. Doc is growing impatient with you. As am I.
Oh yeah? I don't really give a fuck how you feel, Hans. I'm telling you the truth, so relay that to Doc.
Fair enough. What are the details of the excuse this time? Doc wants a password to discuss. As you promised.
Listen, Ivor wasn't an idiot like the rest of the extremely hubris field leadership. He knew once my campaign started to gain in my favor, he would need to hide the ICI's progress from me, and he did just that. And he did it very well. I'm afraid all the funding for the Lunar Night project was processed through shell companies operated by him alone. The contractors for the construction, supplies, and manpower were all funded in the same way.
So none of the elders in the DE can help with this? How about the rest of the ICI team? Where do they stand on this matter?
I have been telling you and Doc both since the beginning. The leadership, including the wise elders, is completely useless and obsolete. They have no idea when it comes to the details of the ICI. All they know is what Ivar wants them to, which is just enough to make them happy while protecting the moon's base from me and my team.
There have to be ground operations for ICI still here in Morston. They must know something.
There were a handful. But right after my takeover, they launched 3 supply transports and 2 manned transports to Lunar Night. The head of ICI ground control killed themselves right after. The 2 members that didn't take their lives are the ones who told me of the funding secrets. And
what?
that any ICI tech left on Earth has been intentionally sabotaged, and that all ties to any government or privatized space program had been secretly cut last year. We can't reach the moon right now, and it will be years before we can again.
This was not the deal, little one! You're now in debt to the USG. I suggest you start working on drones or some sort of automated spacecraft so we can reach that base. And start on it now!
Now hold on there, Hans. We have already done a lot more than was agreed upon. As for the DE's ASC fleet, I have sent dozens to the dark side of the moon, and all have disappeared without a trace. It all just goes black. I even paid a manned Volteca craft $560 million to make the trip just to achieve the same thing. But now I owe them another $780 million for the loss of the shuttle and its crew. So yeah, we are not going to reach Lunar Night anytime soon. However, Avery, our teams, and myself have been working day in and day out. Every hive in Morston is hours away from completion. We are way ahead of schedule.
Ah, yes, Miss Avery Brennan. Now she is very committed to her work with us.
What? Now what the fuck does that mean? Where is she?
With the master.
Oh no. What have you done?
She has accepted what you have been putting off.
There's no way she did that without my permission. Where's Doc?
Behind you.
Avery?
Yes.
Veema, I'm all better now. See?
Doc! We had a deal! We were supposed to be partners! I will not stand for this! You could have at least put some damn clothes on her! Fuck!
You know, the last person that spoke words like that betrayed me. Are you gonna betray me, girl?
No, not at all. I'd never.
Look at me when I speak to you.
Sorry.
Your student here was smart. She is now safe. She is now mine.
A bee to the hive. See my glow, Veema? Here I thrive. Like honey. Yes, like honey in the hive.
Oh, Avery. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry for what? Why we? She's one with the light now.
Yes, she is. Now, you have been avoiding the scarring. It's time to commit.
I will, Doc! I promise! Please, not now! Let me finish my work with the elders! Let me find the path I told you was out there! Please! I'm not ready now! I'm not ready now!
Don't be scared, child. I will grant you this request. For now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are you gonna cut her eyes out?
No. Those days are done. She is now yours to improve upon.
See? Our master's giving you another project. Try not to lose this one.
Avery! Can you hear me? Avery! Oh God! Why aren't you breathing? Shit! Come on! Avery! I know you're there!
I can't believe you came alone.
You asked, old friend.
I'm gonna be frank. The augment is pulling at me in a way that it never has before. It all started that day when you came to the Bella Vita. I know it has something to do with Eddie Vile. I feel his suffering.
Your zeal for drama never wavers.
Doc, please.
I told you a long time ago that each one is like a child to us. That's why I always had a weaker connection to you than the others. I just sealed you back up before you could die. But as you love to say, you made you.
I understand this.
No, you don't. You never did. I'm a father to over 1 million souls now, Johnny. And other than you, I never discriminated amongst my children. You were my best find, Dr. Collins, and my favorite son. Now you're here asking me about your lost son. How does that feel?
I never saw you as a father, and I don't see my scarred ones as children. They are my equals, and you were my partner. To be a guild, remember?
The undead alliance you speak of was meant to perfect mankind. The day you started calling our acolytes patients was the day the USG ironically died.
No, you boiled them, stripped them of their gender, and cut their eyes out.
Only at your behest, Doctor.
My behest? No. I could never command you, Master. It was a process I designed, but you made it law. I hate what I did to those fucking people. What you tried turning me into. All I ever did was blindly obey your sinister orders. You made me do that to your children.
Yes, and we saved them.
Enough! Where is Eddie?
You still a Baptist, Johnny?
What do you think?
Of course not. You're more of a god now, my old friend. And this boy Eddie is like a son to you. Someone you have poured all your hopes and dreams into.
Call me dramatic.
I believe there's a very well-known piece of scripture that fits your situation. John 3:16. For God so loved
the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Stop toying with me.
Yes. Though I've never held much regard for the Christian embellishment of what really went down so long ago. What I will say is most tales are based on some fact. So, I suggest you go back to that tower of yours. Find that weathered old black Civil War Bible you had when we met and take some damn notes. You might go ahead and at least cover John 3:10 to 3:21. 3:16 might not be clear enough for you.
Doc, you don't understand. There is a powerful, chaotic wild living within him.
Then you better find him first.
All elements of Sirenicide are copyright 2018 by Atrium Dynamics unless otherwise stated. Any duplication of this production without the secured written consent of Atrium Dynamics is strictly prohibited. Please visit Sirenicide.com for more details.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you of earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in heaven. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God.
Already killed her. Now you're just mutilating her. No! I'm sorry. I don't want to die. Oh. Kylie. What are you doing to her? She's been dead almost a day. Just leave her alone. Please. Please. No! Please just leave her alone. She's dead. Dead! Hammer. No! No! Stop this! Stop this! What are you? Oh, fuck! What the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? No! Please! Don't hit her again! Thank you. No! Stay back! Stay back! I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Please, God, please. Please. Please, no. I can't.
Kill.